Hello and welcome. Today I'm in the tier 10 Japanese destroyer, the Shimakaze, and I'm using these upgrades and commander skills. Now, I spawned near the A cap on the map north, but I didn't actually go straight for the cap zone because the enemy destroyers are Habarovsk, Kagero, and Gearing. So, you know, if I run into the Habarovsk or Gearing, could go pretty poorly for me, and well, there's the Habarovsk. She is in the cap zone, so I'm gonna drop some torps on her. Oh, she's actually using a smoke too, so she likely isn't actually going to move much from that position, which increases my chance of those torpedoes doing something. Now, I'm gonna turn around and just chill for a little bit. Maybe I'll enter the cap zone, you know, on the edge. It's more important to try to stay alive at this stage, because we only have 2 destroyers, so we kinda need to make our destroyers count, especially since it's domination on north, which has 4 cap zones. So let's see, let's follow. Oh, my torpedoes look actually pretty good. The Habarovsk seems to be actually in here. Come on, come on, come on. Yes! Oh, I even hit 2 of them. Wait, I hit 2 torps on the Habarovsk and she's still alive? Oh my god, come on, come on. They should deal like 35k damage, yet the 22k HP Habarovsk is still alive. Well, on the bright side, she doesn't have heal, and I did 21k damage, so she has like 1000 HP left, which should make her an easy kill, at least enough for a Shimakaze. So I'm gonna turn around. Oh, there she is. For a moment, we saw her. So I'll turn around, because she has left the A cap, but I'm not sure if I even want to try to enter it, because there is an Amagi and a Yamato pushing. Oh yeah, and there's a carrier too, I forgot to mention that earlier. So I'll just go closer, try to torp the Yamato or Amagi, and hope for the best, I suppose. 20 seconds still on the torpedoes. Oh, by the way, if anybody's wondering, I used the 12km torpedoes with torpedo acceleration. I think that is the best combination for the Shimakaze, because those have the same reaction time as the F3 torpedoes, but they have 20% more range, 9.6 kilometers. So I like them more. And let's drop some torpedoes on the Yamato, and perhaps even the Amagi. Oh, and there's the Habarovsk, and she's coming closer. So I'm gonna smoke with a speed boost, and then I'm gonna fire. Now, I have to say, this is one of the smoothest things I have ever done in this game, because this one salvo finished off this Habarovsk. I fired my guns without being detected, despite the fact that technically I was in line of sight for the St. Louis. However, because the smoke appeared right at the right time, I was never detected. That really is something, one of the best moves I have done in this game. So I hit one of the torps on the Amagi, and hopefully I'll hit some more of the torpedoes on the Yamato. That'll be excellent. Oh, 2 torps on the Yamato. That's very, very good. So I've done quite a bit of damage. Both the Yamato and Amagi have no damage control party, so I tell my teammates that. So the Aerroon can keep firing HE and maybe set some fires. That will be unfixable. That would be very nice. Now I will try to get... I guess I will try to do another torpedo run. I have 40 seconds on the reload. I don't expect that I will be able to drop torps on the Amagi, but the Yamato seems likely. I think the Amagi is gonna run, but the Yamato doesn't really have room to turn to the right side of her ship, because there is an island, and left side should still leave her in harm's way. Now, I still have to remember that the enemy team still has 2 destroyers, Gearing and the Kagero, and the last known position of the Gearing was on this side of the map. So it is possible that the Gearing is coming with those battleships. And if I get spotted even for a little bit, I think that might hurt a huge amount, because there's a lot of ships behind them, and many of them would like to take me out. So I drop all of the torps on, you know, on and around the predicted path, and I just hope for the best on against that Yamato. Although I don't really expect that a kill will happen, mostly because the Yamato has a very strong torpedo belt, so you need to hit many torpedoes to actually take one out. And it seems that a whole bunch of these torpedoes are going to actually hit the ship, which is very good. there's this one gap here. I wish this gap wasn't here. I would have hit an extra torpedo, and I think that would have actually finished the Yamato off. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. However, the Yamato is in a smokescreen, which means the gearing is likely there. Or maybe the Kagero, but probably the gearing. So Yamato also doesn't have damage control party again, and she is low health. I guess I'll just keep sailing where I am, because there was a gearing in that direction, and you know, she likely does want to come and actually take me out. Okay, I should start planning my next torpedo run. I'm not actually sure. Maybe I should drop them on the Friedrich that is still coming closer to us. So, by the way, if you've heard, you know, watched the videos before, I have kept saying that defending is easier than attacking. And this is basically what I mean. As a destroyer, you can keep falling back and dropping oh my god, I'm spotted, so there's the gearing, okay. Okay, 300 meters, then I'll be out from spotting range. Okay, I'm undetected. Very good. I didn't take damage. Well, I'm gonna take some here, I think. Nope, never mind. Still completely fine. And I will drop those torpedoes on the gear or on the Friedrich, basically, because I think the gearing is not gonna go around the island. I think the gearing is actually gonna come from this side of the island. So it, you know, dropping torpedoes like this drops them on the Friedrich and has a chance of maybe hitting the gearing as well. So I'll just keep sailing away now. Speed boost is not necessary, I think. I'm thinking of just stopping and smoking here and just start opening fire with my guns. Oh, well, the gearing actually started fighting. Oh, never mind. It seems I was the one actually spotting. Well, there's the tirpitz. I guess I'll just shoot. Oh, I actually hit the torpedo on the gearing. I hit one torp on the gearing and she died. Unfortunately, it seems the torpedoes are going to miss on the Friedrich, because the gearing obviously spotted them. But I guess it's okay. Actually, in fact, it's better than okay, because I took out the gearing with my torpedoes. So now they only have a Kagero left, which means that I don't actually have to be afraid of the destroyer anymore. And I can now use a whole minute to basically shell this Friedrich. Okay, not really a minute. I have to keep the distance the Friedrich is from me in mind, because she likely has hydro up, which means that if she gets within 6 kilometers, slightly less than 6 kilometers, but something like that, she will probably spot me, so I'll just leave the smoke. Now I'm thinking of where to drop the torpedoes. I guess the Friedrich is the best course or the best target, but the downside is that the Friedrich probably has hydro. I could try to go around and maybe drop on the Yamato, but I probably wouldn't be able to do it against the Montana, mostly because she seems to be going behind an island. So that really wouldn't work. They don't really have much choice here. I guess I will have to drop on the Friedrich while running away from her. But she does appear to be doing some evasive maneuvers. I wonder. Well, I guess I'll just drop around the prediction line again and just hope for the best. Because that's pretty much all you can do with torpedoes. I'm actually glad I didn't try to go for the Yamato, considering where she turned now, so it's likely the Yamato didn't actually, or wouldn't have been a viable target even if I had turned. Oh, and the Friedrich is turning in. Well, I guess my torpedoes have missed. And this is kind of the tricky part of playing a destroyer, right? The enemy ships can try to maneuver in ways where you might not be able to predict, basically. Because people in this game don't play in a predictable way. That is, they don't really play for objectives as much. Which, you know, they're not necessarily behind in objectives, although I have to say that the fact that we are blocking the B cap does mean that the enemy team should try to go for the B cap, but they don't appear to be. But I think that the enemy team has basically lost at this point. We can see their Essex and our Charles Martel is in range, so the Essex probably goes down and, you know, the team will likely collapse right after that. But I'll still try my best against the Friedrich. I'll try to get closer slightly, I'll drop some torpedoes, get away again, and hope for the best. So one of the recommendations I would have for playing something like a Shimakaze is that you should pay attention to your torpedo reload. That is, try to reposition, or try to get into position before your torpedoes are up, mostly because that means that you're not wasting any time sailing empty, where you could have fired your torpedoes but you didn't. Now the question is, does that Friedrich keep reversing, or will she start accelerating? I don't know, so I'll just drop where she is, or where she is predicted to go, where she is right now, and I'm not sure what to do with the third launcher. I'm just gonna sit here, wait a little bit. The unfortunate thing is that if she does actually keep reversing, she might be able to reverse out of range. Now, I'm kind of afraid of going closer, because if the Friedrich suddenly starts accelerating, I'm not sure if I can pay enough attention to definitely get away from her. But yeah, I think the torpedoes are actually going to time out, which is somewhat unfortunate, I guess. I do have an Amagi that's coming in, that might be a viable target soon. Okay, one of the torpedoes is passing rather close by. Or, no, and well, it timed out, but I'm not sure even if the torpedo had not timed out, if that would have been able to hit. So there's an Amagi coming. I'm thinking of dropping torpedoes right now, as they are here, because maybe the Amagi runs into them as well. Okay, well, there's the Amagi's prediction line, and I'll just speed boost closer because I think the game might already be over, basically. So it's time to just wrap up and try to get as much damage as possible. Okay, and the next two torps are gonna be basically on the... Now, I can't actually drop on the Friedrich because she is too far away by a few hundred meters. The Amagi seems to be turning towards the Missouri. So I guess I will have to try to do a different type of prediction here. Now, I know I have guns. The thing is that if I would use my guns right now, the trouble becomes that that gives away my definitive positioning. Like, even if I fire in smoke or in some other way, end up staying undetected, it will still tell the opponents where my ship more or less is and, you know, where they should expect torpedoes from. I fired torpedoes on the Amagi. I told my teammate to pay attention to them, and I don't really expect that they hit, but they might hit. I might maybe just smoke here. Oh, actually they are gonna hit if the Amagi doesn't get killed before. Yeah, well, I guess it's 3000 damage. Better than nothing, I suppose. And I'll just start shelling the Friedrich here, I think. Why not though? Oh, because she is sailing closer to me and I don't know what her Hydra is. But I guess I can just fire here anyway, since the Friedrich is probably going to be occupied otherwise, and since she is turning away, I can always smoke if necessary. Well, she finally noticed me and started using secondaries, but I'm still dealing some damage with my guns, so, and I have a lot of HP, so I don't really need to use the smoke right now. I could launch torpedoes, but I don't think they will get there anyway. And even if they did, I'm afraid that they would miss anyway. Oh, and well, there's the game. Since the Friedrich went down. Well, 500,000 credits, 11 torpedo hits, a devastating strike, first blood, and 151k damage. I have to say that this was rather successful, considering that the two ships I killed were actually tier 10 destroyers. And I was appropriately rewarded for this with 2500 base XP. I didn't really deal that much, or didn't do that much tanking. Guns did some damage, but mostly it was just the torpedoes. And here are the credits: 300,000 profit, Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, Rantan Plan, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.